Good afternoon, all. As we are approaching the end of the second phase of our STTP, we have Dr. Lakshmanakumar Ramasamy to wrap up our learning journey in the past 1 week with a session on transformative effects of AI, blockchain on cloud computing, evolution, vision, trends, and open challenges. We are indeed blessed to have him with us today. Dr. Lakshmanakumar Ramasamy is currently associated with Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. He is a chief research scientist in a Canadian-based company in Vancouver region of British Columbia, Canada. He holds the certification in data science from Johns Hopkins University, United States. He also holds the Amazon Cloud Architect certification from Amazon Web Services. He is the founding member of IEEE SIG of Big Data for Cybersecurity and Privacy IEEE. He serves as a core member in the editorial advisor board of Artificial Intelligence Group in Cambridge Scholars Publishing, UK. He is an IEEE brand ambassador. He is a member in IEEE. He himself involves in research and expertise in AI and blockchain technologies. As part of his professional career, he has around 25 plus publications in international journals and conferences. He holds 8 edited books from various publishers like Elsevier, CRC Press, Springer, and Wiley. He holds around 19 patents. In addition to that, he is a lead guest editor for the journals like IET Software, International Journal of Internet Technology and Secure Transactions, International Journal of Gaming and Computer Mediated Simulations, etc. We are indeed happy to have him with us. I request you to kindly take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. Thanks for the introduction. Okay. I'm greatly honored to it. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So, right. So, shall we get into the session, ma'am? Yeah. So, everything is okay? Fine?
Everything is fine, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So, today, 8 minutes, right? So, let me share my screen. Ma'am, whether my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. So thank you for the introduction, right? Okay. So so let's get into the session right away. Okay. The agenda of my session is like I'm going to speak a lot about transformation of how AI, blockchain, and cloud computing happens. Okay. This is the complete agenda of this session. But before getting into that, I have a pre-agenda to that, because whenever we speak about any convergence or transformation, it's very simple, right? We need to have some fundas. Okay. So the foundation plays a vital role. Okay. So I hope, like, guys, so for past couple of days you have, you had a broad knowledge on like how blockchain works and what is blockchain, where you can implement blockchain. Okay. But it's my duty to start with a simple introduction about blockchain, because that is very important. And moreover, I'm going to share my experience, like what I have worked and what is my current project on blockchain. Okay. So I hope and I promise you, like you are gonna enjoy this complete session, right? Okay. So what is the agenda of this particular part is like, so I'm going to tell you like what is blockchain. It's a very simple, right? And why does it matter a lot, right? And next, why do we go for transformation? So what is the need for convergence, right? So these are the three phases where I'm going to concentrate a lot, right? Okay. So coming to the key concepts of blockchain, probably you might have heard a lot about it. Okay. But I'm going to share everything practically, not theoretically, right? Okay. So what are the key concepts of blockchain, right? So obviously the key concepts of blockchain blockchain. I mean, the key concepts are like, okay, distributed share ledger, cryptography, consensus, and smart contracts. Okay, so why do I call this as the key concepts? So I mean, what is the need for these things in, I mean, in defining blockchain? Okay, this is, I mean, this is a pretty simple and straightforward question. Very simple, right? Okay, so let us take a small example. Like if I'm giving 100 rupees to Tina ma'am. Okay, so I mean, after receiving 100 rupees, she is telling me, no, I have not received money. Okay, so what happens literally? What happens literally? So I mean, so 1 minute, please. Manojana Lakshmanna, Anna, Anna Lakshmanna, Anna Lakshman, Anna Scorpio, Anna Lakshmanna. இல்லைண்ணா அது ஆமாண்ணா அதில் அது சார்ஜ் இல்லைன்னு போட்டிருக்கேன் இந்த ஃபோன். சரிண்ணா ஓகேண்ணா 4 o'clock மேலே கூப்பிட்றேண்ணா. செஷனில் இருக்கேன் நான் கூப்பிட்றேன். Yeah, I'm extremely sorry. Right. So let's give you a small example. Like if I'm giving 100 rupees to Tina ma'am, and after receiving 100 rupees, right? So Tina ma'am says like, no, I have not received it. Tina ma'am, I hope you don't mind about this scenario, right? Okay, so fine. Yeah. So after receiving 100 rupees, she's telling like, no, okay, when you have given 100 rupees, okay, this is the real scenario. So I mean, so what happened? So how to make this trust? Okay, how to ensure trust in this transaction? Okay, so to ensure trust, okay, so first what we want to do is we want to think about some key concepts. So the major key concepts is like ledger, cryptography, consensus, and smart contracts. Okay, so coming to the point directly, so what is this ledger? Okay, so after giving 100 rupees, like, yeah, I'm Lakshman, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to write it like date. Okay, so like today's date. So today's date is like 19. So 19 by 12 by 12 p.m. I'm giving 100 rupees to Tina ma'am. Okay, and after that Tina ma'am receives, and Tina ma'am in her side is going to take a piece of paper and she's going to write. Okay, so I mean from 12:30 p.m. like I have received 100 rupees from Lakshman. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so this is called ledger. Okay, and the next point is like, how do I ensure that I'm maintaining the same record like Tina ma'am? Okay, so how we both are maintaining the same record? There comes the next question. Okay, so once if there comes these kind of questions, we need to think about security. Okay, right? So when I say security, we all will close our eyes and say cryptography. No, it is not like that. Okay, cryptography is meant for security. That I mean, cryptography is generally used like we should not tamper any data. That is where cryptography lies. But I'm speaking about different security. Okay, like ensuring the transaction, trust of transaction. And there comes the two concepts which is called consensus and smart contracts. Okay, so consensus is a kind of a mechanism, right? Okay, it's, you can take like it is a framework or mechanism. Okay, so based on some mechanism, okay, so based on some mechanism, so what we are going to do is we are going to maintain the particular transaction. So when I say consensus, there are around 10, 12, 13, 14 lot more consensus are there, because I mean current now we don't maintain any specific protocol on that. Okay, because that could be like POW, proof of work, or I mean proof of stack, okay, proof of capacity, or proof of elapsed time. Each company is Microsoft, even Google, everybody uses their own concept and they name it as different according to their convenience. Okay, so as of now we don't there is no common protocol as far as consensus is concerned. So consensus is something different. It is a kind of a framework which is going to maintain the complete transaction. Okay, right? So that is a kind of a framework. Okay, fine. And what is the smart contracts? Okay, so I have told you before, like consensus is a kind of a framework which is going to maintain, okay, so maintain the complete transactions. Okay, so it's a kind of an agreement, right? So how do I achieve that agreement? Okay, when I say a software, when I say an application, obviously it is like we want to define some code, we want to write some code. Okay, So that code is called a smart contract. So all the mechanisms which we usually speak in the terms of theoretically, that is called consensus, is written as a code, which indeed we call that as a smart contracts. Very simple. Okay, right. And the next question is, okay, you can ask me like, okay, so I'm fine with ledger, consensus, and smart contract, and why do I require cryptography, right? Okay, and that is really a nice question. See, okay, I have told you guys, like, so I'm going to give 100 rupees to Tina ma'am. So what happens is like, Tina ma'am gives an entry like 100 rupees in her ledger, right? And what happens after a couple of minutes, or after a couple of time, I'm just altering my ledger as I have given 500 rupees to Tina. Okay, so what happens? This should not happen, right? So so for that, to prevent that, okay, to prevent the tampering of data, right? So we are speaking about a concept called cryptography, right? And obviously I hope, like, when I say cryptography, there are a lot of there are three types. Okay, there are three types available. From my experience, I'm just sharing you things. Okay, if I'm wrong, please correct me up, right? Okay, so when I say cryptography, generally there is a symmetric, there is asymmetric, and there is hash functions. Okay, so when I say symmetric, okay, you know all these blah blahs, right? Okay, so these public keys. And when I say asymmetric, we use a different key, that is called a public and private keys. And when I say a hash function, we generally that is accessed by using key pair. Okay, right. But as far as blockchain is concerned, from experience, we often use only asymmetric, because with the help of private and public keys, yeah, I believe, like, we can bring some security, because that is indeed required to build some concepts like digital signatures. Okay, digital signatures is very important when it comes to authorization kind of things. Okay, right. So I hope you are clear about the key concepts. You can ask me like, okay sir, you are telling me like these are the key concepts, whether these things are mandatory. Yes, of course it is mandatory. And probably if time permits, I can show my application, like what I have done. See, I have developed a blockchain for a healthcare, okay, by using Java, because Java is like my breath. Okay, I do code a lot in Java. I have done, right now I'm doing my 517th project in Java. So, so I just gave a small try, like, okay, why can't we develop application? And I have done that. Okay, so I have tried to bring my consensus, my smart contracts. I have worked with cryptography. So I have even worked with ledger as well. So I have developed a small application in Java. Okay, so probably let me check, okay, whether I can give you a demo of that also, right? Okay, fine. So hope you are understand about the key concepts, right? And the next, this is very important, and this is a heart for every model, right? So data storage and communication. Okay, so why do we concern a lot? Because when I say an application, right? Okay, so always when I say an application, there comes 2 points, like data. Yes, data. The next one is communication. So how we are going to use the data, how the data is fetched, or how the data is accessed, or how the data is going to be modified. Okay, so as a tech guy, we need to have, so we need to have a more concern on this. Okay, because without this data storage and communication, nothing happens. Each and every application depends on two things, because that is where, wherever I go, I give a talk, I used to speak about two hearts. One is called data storage and communication. And always when I speak about the foundation concepts, I say, okay, there are two things. One is called data mining and computer networks. Okay, the same thing applies here, right? So data mining and computer networks, now we are speaking about cloud computing. Okay, right? But cloud computing is what, right? Okay, it's a very simple. Okay, what we are going to do, it, we are going to store our data, and we are retrieving our data. So data, so that is the base of data mining concept. And how we are going to retrieve it, and and generally we are retrieving it by what? Through networks, right? Okay, so data mining and networks are the base for every concept. Even we speak about edge computing. Okay, because I have worked 7 projects in fog computing as well, right? So wherever we work and whatever we do, always we say like data mining and computer networks are the are like two eyes. Okay, are like two eyes. The same concept applies here for Okay, so if we want to bring any model or any new architecture, we need to concentrate on two things. One is called data storage and next one is called communication. So the next question you can ask me, like, why should I worry about that? Because when I say data, okay, the internal consistency is very, very important. So what is this internal consistency? Because in the previously, before getting into the session, I have told you, like, see, I'm going to give 100 rupees to Tina. Okay, so she may tell like, no, I have not received money, or I may tell like, oh, so I have given 200 to Tina, but Tina says like, okay, I have received only 100. Okay, so these kind of clumsy situations can happen. So I want to maintain the consistency of the application. So internal consistency is pretty much important and is pretty much required. Okay, and the next thing is like, when I say blockchain, it is completely a P2B. Okay, so that is called peer-to-peer model. Okay, you can ask me, so what is this? So what is the difference between peer-to-peer model and the another model which we are using is centralized model, right? Okay, so I hope like you have heard a lot about this for past couple of days, like, okay, so how you, even when we are kids, when we are in our college days, we used to do application with our DOM model, DOM, like, okay, so we have used Corba, right? So probably I believe like we have worked on models. So what are those models? Those models are exactly right. Okay, it's P2P model, and again we are trying to use the same concept. Okay, fine. So what is the specialty of P2P? It's very simple, right? Okay, so if I say centralized, okay, I need to depend on a single authority, right? Okay, so like what now our college is working, so we need to depend on our head, okay, head of the department, right? Okay, now the central authority, it's a single authority, there will be a kind of a authority. Okay? But when I say blockchain, there won't be any authority, so we should not worry about it. So when I say no, no authority, I can close my eyes and I can tell you like, there cannot be any failures. Okay, so what we can do is, there is no kind of a single point failure. Okay, next, and what is the next advantage is durability, right? Okay, so there are two things which which I prefer from experience is like, if a blockchain is generally blockchain is a P2P model, so through this I can achieve durability, and as well as there is no failure point of things. Okay, right. So this is very important, okay, because no, I have given everything in the terms of animation, right? So how blockchain works, okay? So because you might know about this, but but I need to share my experience as well, right? Okay, because I want to tell you the future is, I cannot say the future is blockchain, the future is kind of a blockchain. Okay, so anyhow, I'm going to show you a lot of use cases, like where blockchain is used and how we are using blockchain, and and the next thing is what what are the major drawbacks, of AI, and why we want to move from AI to blockchain, right? Okay, so let's take a small step, like, okay, in the step one, say for example, if I want to send money to someone, okay, that will be different. That will be first step. Okay, and you know what happens, that is a kind of a transaction, right? Okay, I have told you initially, like, if you want to do something, okay, all the transactions need to be reflected in the ledger. Okay, so now I have told you, like, if I say blockchain, now, yeah, I am in a different block, probably Tina, she's in a different block. Okay, so now these blocks are attached together, and there is a kind of a chain network, and we call that as a blockchain. Okay, so it is the simple concept, like what we always study in our in our engineering, in your engineering degree, like, so we have learned about linked list, right? Okay, so the advanced level of linked list is blockchain, very simple, that's it. Okay, we no need to worry about anything, right? Okay. The next thing is what I have told you, like, because there's a network. Okay, I cannot say in the network only I and Tina's there. So I and Tina are there. They are a couple of people. If we can imagine, like, there are a couple of people, probably my HOD and her HOD. So generally there are 4 people in the network. So what happens, and the other 2 need to know, like, okay, Lakshmi is trying to send something to Tina. Okay, okay, well, right. Okay, and the next thing is, see, this concept is completely typical. Okay, because I have given you a concept like sufficient miners approve the transaction. Okay, so this you need to understand, like, there is a concept called miners in blockchain, And when I say blockchain, okay, this might be an advanced term, okay, but please do, please do, listen. If you have any doubt, no problem. We can discuss in the terms of project as well, right? Okay. So when I say miners, okay, so miners is in the terms of public blockchain, because see, when I say blockchain, generally there, the theoretical, they used to say like public blockchain or private blockchain or consortium, or consortium blockchain, and generally they are calling that as a federated, okay. And naming convention is, it's always confusing, okay, leave about that, okay. So what is this public blockchain? Like, okay, public blockchain, it's a completely, as a name suggests, it's a public. Anyone can get into a block and anyone can do, and do the transactions. But who is going to approve that? There's a person which we call as admin. A very simple admin is a kind of a miner, okay. So if, you can ask me like, see, in blockchain there is a no, it is completely decentralized, okay. But but who is going to act as a miner? Okay, so there are different concepts. So based on consensus, okay, right, so what are based on consensus or mechanism, the miners are selected, okay, and the miners will act as the admins, okay, and they just approve the transaction. And this is, this concept is, this concept is completely okay for public blockchain. And when it comes to private blockchain, so what happens, right? So either that can be a private blockchain or either that can be a consortium blockchain, right? Okay, so what happens? So when I say a private or consortium, we don't have miners, okay. So why we don't have miners? Because in the terms of public, the strength, the blocks, the blockchain is huge, okay. But when it comes in, but when it comes in the terms of private blockchain, the block is bit small, right? So I'm not going to use a concept called miners here. I'm going to use a concept called notary, okay. So the notary or the one who, who acts as an admin, right? Okay, well, right. Right. And once the admin, okay, let's take a common synonym like admin. Once the admin approve, then the transaction is recorded in the blockchain. It means all the ledgers, okay. So so we have 6 steps, like, so it's a very simple 6 steps. You can take it as like a 6 nodes, and each node will have a ledger, and because all the ledgers need to be distributed, because we don't have any centralized ledger. So once all the ledgers are distributed, then we need to have the same entry, okay, same entry for all the ledgers, okay. So that is called the transaction is added to the block, right? And once that is done, then finally B is received. And once the B receives money, then what happens? Like, once Tina receives money, then we need to give a new entry, okay, new entry to all the nodes in the blockchain, right? Okay, so this is so this is also required, right? Because I want to give you a small glimpse, right? Okay, so what is consensus algorithm? I have told you it's a kind of a mechanism, right? So the overall process is controlled by kind of a mechanism that is called consensus, okay. So there are a lot of consensus algorithms available, right? From proof of work to proof of stack, right? Okay, so proof of capacity to proof of elapsed time, okay. You can ask me that proof of work. So based on this consensus algorithm, I have told you this miners are selected, okay, fine, right? So what is this POW? POW is very simple, okay. It's a proof of work. Say for example, there are 10 people in the nodes, okay. So out of 10 people, let us take one guy is capable of doing a lot of works, okay. So he can do any number of work. So what we can do is like, so why can't we select him as the admin, okay. Once you follow a typical concept like this, and we say that this mechanism, the mechanism used to select miners is POW. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Okay. The same comes for proof of stack and proof of capacity and proof of LM. See, this is completely a theoretical concept. Okay. This is completely a theoretical concept. But when you write smart contracts, okay, see, when you write smart contracts, the scenario is completely different. Okay. Because we need to think about a lot of terms like how to select miners, and a lot of things are there. So probably if this is a kind of a practical session, then probably I would have shown you, visually, but no, I cannot do right now. Okay, fine. So I have told you like there are three kinds of blockchain, but generally but usually I used to concentrate on only two. One is a public and private. Okay, so you should know like, so what is this private and public, right? Okay, so see actually, so when I say a public, right? Okay, so when I say public, generally what, anybody can read, anybody can write, and the ledger is distributed, and moreover it is immutable, right? Okay, and it is immutable. And next one is, we have a rule called 51% rule, and I want to tell you, I mean friends, right? See, I want to tell you like 51% rule. You might have heard about 51% rule, but practically that is not possible. Okay, we can speak 51% rule in the terms of theoretically. I mean, so let us imagine like, okay, there are 100 people. Okay, there are 100 people in a room. Okay, there are 100 people in the room. So it means that each and every one are coming into a room, so we have a strength of 100. Okay, right. So first person comes in, and probably he's a bad guy, and second person comes in, he's a bad guy, third person comes in, he's a bad guy. So it means like there are 49 bad guys and 51 good guys. Okay, so you are telling that there are 49 malicious nodes and 51 good nodes. Okay, so my question is, how you can approve 49 malicious nodes to be in the network? Okay, that is completely not possible. Okay, and you can ask me like, okay, you are telling me like that, and initially there are only one malicious node, and one malicious node is trying to make another node malicious. Okay, okay, fine, and the next node is trying to make malicious. So, but I have told you like there's a concept called not tree, there's a admin, right? So how do admin will allow will allow these malicious nodes to affect others? So that is not possible in the terms of practical stuffs. Even we can speak about theoretically, right? Okay, and the next thing is, once it comes to private, okay, I have told you like always private blockchain is bit fast, and it is secure as well, and moreover it is scalable also, because when I say private, it is obviously it's only within the enterprise. Okay, right, and I can tell you like consensus is always more efficient, right? Okay, and always I used to say like guys always get puzzled by two words. One is called permissionless and permissionless. Very simple, right? So permissionless is like, okay, in the private blockchain, okay, I mean the private blockchain or a consortium blockchain or a federated blockchain, where two persons, okay, if you don't know the other people, okay, so that is called permissionless. Okay, if you know the other person over the network, that is called permission. That is the only difference. Okay, so you no need to have planning about that. Okay, and the next thing you can ask me like, so whether I want to get into private blockchain or public blockchain, is very simple. When you want to get into a blockchain development, so just think about so just think about your requirement. Okay, probably your college or university or your enterprise requirement is maybe maybe different. Okay, so based on your requirement, what you can do is you need to come up with the decision. But always I suggest like, please try to get into a private or a consortium blockchain when you get into a stuffs, right? Okay, right. So when I say whether I want to give you some examples, okay, I may give it, right? So when I say public, like, so public is kind like, Bitcoin, Ethereum is a kind of a public. When I say private, okay, right? So have you heard about any private networks? Okay, so I will show you something. So wait, okay. So once this is done, and I will show you some real concepts where how you can start and how you can work, right? And this is very important, right? Okay, so when I say values, okay, so when I say values, right, so what are these values? Okay, so these values, like, so when I speak about blockchain, so what happens if I bring blockchain into my network or into my core area? So what happens once you bring blockchain? I can tell you like, you can definitely reduce your cost and complexity. Okay, and also you can trust your transactions, and errors can be drastically reduced, and even there's a great chance of auditability as well, right? Okay, so now one part of the session is done. Okay, right? Okay, so this is my contact, LinkedIn, and my email, right? If you have any queries or any suggestions, if you're interested to work with me, so probably you can get connected and we can do wonders. I can share my experience, right? Okay, I can involve you. Once my collaborators approve, I will definitely involve you in my project as well, right? Okay, so so probably the first session of my agenda is done. Okay, right? So so do you have any doubts on this? So any doubts on this? Okay, if you have any doubts, so probably you can ask me, right? So if you don't have any doubts, then probably I can move to the next part. So hi guys. Yeah.
Participants, if you have any doubts, please ask me.
No doubts.
So I think we can forward to the next agenda.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. 1 minute, ma'am. Yeah. I'm 1 minute. Okay. Let me share my screen.
ஏதோ ஒன்று ரெண்டு தான் அவங்க இது பண்றது.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. I have
Sir, yes, sir.
no. I have. So I have heard a voice like somebody is trying to ask me something. No.
No, sir, it was an interruption.
Okay, ma'am. No problem. Okay. Fine. So this is very, very important, right? Okay. So convergence. Okay, right. See, the topic given to me is like I want to speak about transformation. Okay, right. So the transformation is like, they have asked me to speak about transformation on AI, blockchain, and cloud computing as well, right? So see, I have told you like the cloud computing started from computer networks, right? Okay. So initially when we were in our engineering, generally, you know what happens, like so we started with with the basic networks, right? Okay, so then it moved to grid. Okay, people spoke about grid, and after grid, and you know what we after grid we just moved to cloud. And you know very well, like when we are working in cloud, we face a lot of problems, like many enterprises hesitate to bring their data into cloud, right? Okay, so but now you know many applications are using cloud. So the reason for using cloud is because of its scalability and durability, right? Okay, so the traffic rate is it's very less when we our application is in the cloud. Okay, right. So this is fine. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, but there comes the point like AI. Okay, what is AI? So basically I want to tell you like i mean uh, completely I'm proud to say like I'm an AI scientist. Okay, I have worked with couple of projects, right? Okay, and I'm the first person in Tamil Nadu to represent to represent to represent AI in Asia's virtual, okay, first and largest virtual summit that was happened on May of this year. Okay, so May 2020. Okay, so really, we had around 17,000 participants. Okay, so we had spoke with a lot of industries, and a lot of projects are signed off. Okay, so we are working towards that, right? Okay, fine. And the next thing is like, okay, I am handling a few projects, a few Canadian based projects, right? Okay, so because we have an office at Vancouver, Columbia, our company is AICTE, right? Okay, so what is this AI, right? So because this is very, very important, and you can ask me like, so what is the correlation, what is the kind of a relationship between AI and blockchain? Really, that is an really, that is an excellent question, because in this in this point of presentation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you like how AI can be linked with blockchain, so that what kind of advantages we are going to achieve. So this is the point. Okay, So when I say AI, everything is AI, because probably I believe like you guys are attending this session through your mobile phones, or probably you might be using your Mac or your Windows, no, something, right? Okay. So let's take a scenario like you are using this kind of session in your mobile, right? So what happens, mobile is in your hand daily, right? Okay. Right. So it means how you are, how you are unlocking your applications, right? You use fingerprints, or probably you use face, right? Okay. Right. Okay. So you tend to bring security in the terms of fingerprints or face recognition. And the next question is, so the next question is like, so how you are using your mobile? So always your finger, okay, always you use majorly your thumb finger, okay. And the next thing, you always touch the middle part of your screen, or else you will touch the right hand part of your screen. Probably, if you don't believe me, once you take your mobile, what happens, like you will touch only the middle, you will not touch the top part of your screen, either that can be left or right, or ever you will never ever touch the bottom left of your screen, okay. So always our accessibility, okay, so always our accessibility is based on the right hand side, okay, and especially from right middle to top, okay. You can ask me like, so how you are telling that, right? See, when you visit any kind of websites, you will get advertisement.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing any screen now? Slide is not visible.
Ma'am, I'm just sharing the screen, okay. So can you see the screen now, ma'am?
Um,
Because
uh, we are viewing a folder only. Slides is not visible.
your screen sharing is past. 1 minute, ma'am. Ma'am, is it okay now?
No, sir.
Ma'am, is it okay?
No, not now.
Ma'am,
Slides is not visible.
ma'am, 1 minute.
Okay. Now it is visible, sir.
Is it okay now, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, right. So you can ask me like how you are telling this with confidence, right? So even if you go to any website, probably you might have advertisements, right? You generally you will, you will tend to get some advertisements. So where the advertisements, are displayed, generally you will get advertisements, okay. So from the top, okay, from the top right hand side, or else you will get the advertisement from the top, in the bottom right hand side, okay. You will get advertisement only in the right hand side, not in the left hand side, okay. And you can, the important points are always displayed in the middle part of your skin. Probably that could be a middle part, the right hand side, okay. You might have faced this. So why? Because our eyes, okay, our eyes and our fingers, are mostly used in this particular point, okay. So how a particular company is accessing this? So I can tell you like, see, with AI I can tell you like how many times you have touched your screen, okay. And next thing I can tell you like, in which places you have accessed, you have accessed most, okay. So I can tell you a lot of things, so how this can be done, okay. So this is happening right in the terms of AI, okay, right. And the next thing, like, so it means you are analyzing this data, and is this data analytics? Yes, this is data analytics, okay. So if you bring some decision, okay, if you bring some decision out of it, that is called data analytics, right? If you are making any computation, that is called AI. So as of now, many people are making business out of in data analytics by saying that, hey, this is what this is what this, but no, as of now, data analytics is a kind of a, it's a kind of a paperwork, okay. So but all the computations are done through a concept called AI. So AI is, AI is very important, okay. So only through AI we can make some decisions, okay, right. So coming to the point, right, so I'm going to speak about the convergence and AI for the better future, right. So this is my favorite quote, okay. So wherever I go, I always carry this quote, right. Right. So in the new world, right, it is not the big fish generally which eats the small fish, okay. No, it's the kind of a fast fish which eats the slow fish, right? Because in this world, right, you cannot say like, no, I work hard. No, right? Okay, if you work hard you will get rewards, okay, but if you work smart you will get more rewards in a smarter way, in the fast way, right? So that is what we used to tell, like, okay guys, please have a smarter work, okay, so try to work smartly. Okay, right. So this is I want to tell you, like, this is the power of AI. So every day you are carrying your mobile. So now mobile is like your sixth finger, right? Okay. If anybody is having sixth finger now, you can take this as seventh finger as well. Depends, right? Okay. So now mobile is like our another hand, or mobile is like our sixth finger. We never ever go out without our mobile. So that is the so it means we are, I mean, so it means we are living with AI, because in your house probably you might have automated your house either through Alexa or either through Google Assistant, so probably, right? Okay, so you might have automated everything, right from your ACs to your geysers to kettle to your TVs to your, I mean, to your CCTV camera to your workstation. Okay, that is completely depends. Okay, so generally I can tell you, like, AI is becoming part of our everyday life. Okay, because why? AI have already dominated the global economy, right? I can tell you, like, see, I mean, I can tell you directly with a small example, right? You are planning to buy a mobile, so what mobile you will buy? You will say, no, I'm okay with Android. I'm not going to buy Apple. Why? Because you may feel like, okay, working in Android is a bit easy, so UI seems very easy, so you don't want to, you say, no sir, setting ringtone is Apple is very difficult. Okay, that's fine, right? Okay, but I can tell you, like, if you want to bring a secure kind of thing, okay, and I can tell you, like, please go for, I mean, see, I'm not a brand ambassador of Apple, right? So I'm telling you, like, see, so you also always you can go for Apple, because in Apple there are a lot of features in terms of AI is concerned. Okay, right? So coming to the point, right? So now AI have already dominated the global economy, because wherever you move, even you when you buy to when you go for any shop, I mean, kind of electronic shop, always there is a word called smart. Okay, nowadays we are in the smarter work. It means we are living with AI. So that is okay. So that is in the terms of consumers. Okay, because we all are consumers, for consumers, right? Okay, fine. but but what is the situation of AI with producers? Okay, that is very important. Okay, so right, with AI, okay, with AI, all the industries, right, from to healthcare to education to finance to supply chain management, okay, AI have completely redefined it. Okay, I will give you a small example. Like, say if you are buying something from Flipkart, okay, so what happens, what you can do is you can track the package, right? Okay, so you are buying some shoes, okay, so you can clearly find, like, okay, where is my shoe now? Okay, from Delhi now, so probably there, I mean, probably it has received it, I mean, it has received Karnataka, Bangalore, right? Okay, so from Bangalore it is going to come to Salem, from Salem it is going to come to Coimbatore, right? Okay, so you can track each and everything. How does this happen? Okay, and how does this logistic company is giving us a lot of this information, right? It means what? It's all because of data. It's, again, I'm telling you, it's all because of AI. Okay, right, fine. Okay, right. So I mean, and these are the four areas, right? So generally I want to emphasize, right? So one is called healthcare. Now I want to tell you guys, right, in healthcare, okay, we are using AI in everything. Okay, right from A to Z. Okay, we are, I mean, generally we are using AI. And I want to give a small example, like, okay, so I mean, a couple of years back, probably 2.2, I mean 2.20 years back, right? So we have done a project with one university where I'm not supposed to reveal the names, okay, as it's a kind of a copyright issue. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so the project which I have done is very simple, right? See, I mean, example, I'm telling you, now you are pregnant, okay? So probably you might carry with 5 months. Okay? So I will ask you some data. Once you give that particular data, I can tell you, like, yes, this you will get the baby in a normal way, or your baby will be probably in the C-section. Okay, so now that is patent, okay, with my name as well. So so that project is currently, I mean, used in few hospitals of New Zealand. Okay, so I mean, so how this is happening? Okay, it's very simple. It's a kind of a data, but the thing is that as these data are very sensitive. Okay, so I can I mean, so if so with these data I can give you the complete result, like, okay, so probably even I can predict the date. Okay, I can predict the date as well, and I can tell you like so probably, right, whether your baby will be I mean will be coming out in a normal way, or probably you'll be getting in the C-section. Okay, so I mean, so I mean, so I can predict some, I can forecast some things. Okay, so healthcare is on the kind, it's a kind of a thing, right? Okay, and the next thing, and I mean currently we are working on a different project, like, okay, see, actually that I cannot reveal. Okay, but I can give you a small glimpse. Like, there are few, I mean, once a child is born, right, so probably it might have born with inabilities, right? Okay, right. So what we have planned is, like, when the baby is in the fetus, so we have a plan. Okay, so what happens, so we have a plan generally to test the inabilities. Probably if a baby is born, okay, probably it, I mean, the growth might be very low. We can say that, okay, the legs or the, I mean, hands are a bit short. Okay, the baby doesn't have a normal brain growth. Okay, so this, and what we can do is this, I mean, they are telling once the baby comes out. Okay, but even they are telling everything when the baby is inside, but that is not completely accurate. Okay, so we have a plan to do that, and it's very simple, right? Okay, see, I even I'm not a doctor, because I mean we have worked something on pathology, so that is what I can tell you. Like, so very simple. Okay, I mean, with the help of your nose length. Okay, with the help of your nose length, and the next thing is called, and behind your head and top of your backbone. Okay, there's a place. Once you touch that, you can find the place, right? And you can find a liquid there. There's a liquid. Okay, with these two things, okay, we will, I mean these are two places where we use these junctures as a point to check the inability of the child. Okay, right. So that is what we are doing it. Okay, and even I mean, previously what they were doing is, like, they used to they used to judge everything with the help of the nose length. Okay, but we have given them a suggestion, like, okay, along with this data, why can't you consider the liquid data? Okay, because I don't want to go a bit technically. Okay, right. So there is a, I mean, there's a, so we have asked them, like, okay, please, whenever you predict something, you need to consider these data as well, right? Okay, so fine. Okay, so that is a kind of a healthcare. And the next thing here, I want to give you another example, like, okay, so because each and everything I want to give you, like, how blockchain can be, can be incorporated into this. So I have told you, like, okay, this is AI, and fine, and where comes blockchain? Right. So I will give you a small example. Like, see, you are going to, let us imagine, like, you are going to a doctor. Okay. And once you go to a doctor, and he will say, and he will ask so many questions, and you will answer all blah, blah, blah. And he will say, right, okay, fine. You take a blood, you just take a blood test. Okay. And next he will ask, like, you want to do these kind of scans, scan A, scan B, scan C. Okay, fine. You are doing that. Right. Okay, and the next thing, and you are telling that, oh, this doctor is not so good, so what I have to do is, also, obviously, I want to get into a second opinion, right? So you are going to a next doctor, and again the doctor, what he will say, hey, see, come, see, you want to have a blood test. Okay, and you want to have a scan. So what happens, like, so your money is wasted, your time is wasted, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to bring a blockchain. See, okay, so I'm going to a first doctor. Okay, the doctor says, like, hey, take blood test. Yes. And doctor says, hey, you want to take a couple of scans, right? Okay, fine. Okay, imagine, like, you're taking 5 scans, right? And what you're going to do is, you are going to store all the data in a block. Okay, you are creating a block. Okay, and you are going to store all your data in a particular block. Let us name that block as A. Fine. And now what you are going to do is, you are trying to go, okay, now what happens, you are trying to go to the next doctor, and doctor says, hey, see, you want to take a blood test, and you want to take a couple of scans, and you say, hey, please listen. See, I'm not ready to waste my time, or I'm not ready to waste my money. See, if you want to have a look at my reports, what you can do is, right, okay, just access my blog. Okay, to access your blog, you need to have a verification code. So that is a kind of authorization medium. So you are providing an authorization key. So doctor, what he can do is, he can just use your authorization key to have a look at to have a look at your reports, right? So by this, okay, so by this, what you can do is, you can save money, you can save time. And the next pretty important thing is, like, okay, so what, your data is secure, your data is completely secure. So this is the place where nowadays we are planning to work on some blockchain framework. And I have written 3 papers in so I have written 3 papers, and out of 3, okay, I got accepted in 1, and I'm waiting for the reviews of 2 papers as well, right? Okay, and the next thing, I'm coming to education, right? So I want to tell you, this is very important, education, right? Okay, 1 minute. Ma'am, is it visible now?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, ma'am, fine. Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah. See, just okay, fine. See, what I'm going to do is education, right? I say blockchain in universities. If I say blockchain in universities, what you will get, right? So you will have, like, okay, see, what are the universities they are giving blockchain courses, and how to study and how blockchain. No, I don't want to have this. I want to know, in which university where blockchain is used, right? So I will give you a small example, because I was part of the project as well, right? Okay, see, just British University Dubai plus blockchain. I'm just typing it. Once I type it, I'm getting the first link. Okay, see what happens, literally. British University in Dubai. Okay, so British University in Dubai. Okay, right. So what they have used is, like, okay, I will show you the document. So can you see this? British University in Dubai was the first university in UAE and third in world to issue digital degrees, okay, using blockchain technology, right? So using blockchain technology, right? And they are trying to do it, even they are trying to secure and digital authentication, new verification tool on the British website, okay, right? So I think this is the first university, I can tell you, this is the first university in probably in UAE to bring, okay, to bring digital certificates, okay, right, fine. Even there are a lot of universities which they are trying to build it. Even we are closely working with IIT Roorkee as well, because IIT Roorkee is very close to my heart, okay. So because my guru and supervisor is from IIT Roorkee, right? So we have a plan, to build blockchain network for a particular event as well, right? So coming back to the point, like, okay, right. And the next thing, there comes a supply chain management. Okay, right. So probably I believe, like, guys, we have ordered something in Amazon or in Flipkart. Okay. So what happens now? What is the traditional concept, right? So what happens if you are trying to place any orders in Amazon, right? So what very well Amazon will check with the producers, and it will get the product. And the next thing is, it will give the product to the logistics company. And what happens, the logistic company indeed will try to deliver the product. When the product is delivered, you will be pretty much happy, right? That's fine. Okay, it's okay. But now, I mean, can you think one point, like the whole process is 75% dependent on logistic company, right? So what happens, right? Amazon is trying to give the product to a particular logistic company. So if logistic company loses that product, what happens? Okay, there comes the question. Okay, once it loses its product, so probably our product may reach bit delay for us. Okay, and Amazon may lose money for that. Okay, so because I want to do something for that, right? Okay, so what I have planned is, so I have an idea. So I have an idea, like, so how to bring blockchain. It's very simple. So see, what I'm going to suggest is like, see, I mean, so Amazon is trying. So I'm placing some orders in Amazon, and Amazon is indeed trying to give a particular product to the logistic company, and logistic company is delivering a product to me. And after receiving the product, I'm just telling to Amazon like, hey, see, I have received the product. Okay. After receiving it, what Amazon is doing it, once the product is received, then Amazon can deposit the travel cost to that particular logistic company. So through this, okay, so through this, okay, the third party interventions, the third party concept can be avoided. So what is the ultimate object of blockchain? The ultimate objective of blockchain is to avoid third party interventions. So that is the only thing which I want to do it. Okay, so and the next thing, and another example, like where we are working a lot in blockchain, is one is on insurance company, right? Okay, we are working a lot and lot with insurance company, right? And the next thing is like, even in the sales point of view, so just think you are trying to buy some car. Okay, so what happens once you go to a showroom? Let us take a small example, like, so you are going to buy so let us take a small example, like you are going to buy a BMW, okay, probably 320d, right? Okay, this is a small example. So what happens, like, first they will ask you a lot of questions, like what is your income, so what is your point of business, okay, and how much is the turnover, and what is your capacity, right? Everything is done. Then probably the car, I mean, let us take a small example, I mean a rough scenario, rough figure, like this car is around 45 lakhs. Okay, so you're telling like, hey, see, I'm going to pay 20 lakh as a down payment. Okay, fine. And for the rest of 25 lakh, what you have to do is you need to go for the bank. Okay, right. So once you go for the bank, there comes the auditing and verification part, and everything happens, right? So probably it will take around 3 to 4 days, right? So there are a lot of things are involved. If you, in a simple term, like if you are buying a car, okay, a simple car, right? Okay, so what I am telling to you is like, once we bring blockchain, what happens is that, I'm going to buy a car. So I'm going to place all my data, okay, in a particular block. Okay, and the next thing is, there comes the bank. Okay, there comes the company person, that's called sales. So I have a different block called sales. I have a different block called bank. Okay, fine. Right. So I have a three different blocks. Right. So what we can do is, each block can communicate. Okay, each block can communicate among themselves by using just a authorization key. Okay, this by this I can tell you, like, lot of paperworks can be avoided, right? And the next thing is, there cannot be any point of failure, and there can be any, this transaction cannot be misused by any person. Okay, so that is where we are working a lot, right? So we are trying to develop an application, like to show them, like, so see, instead of paperworks, we are going to store all our data in the terms of block. Once the data is stored in a block, each and every parties can access the data with their authenticate keys, right? Okay, and the next thing is, like, one is called travel. Okay, because when I say travel, okay, that is very, very important. See, say for example, right, if you are trying, so let us take a small example, like you are traveling in a car. Okay, a medium range car, right? So what happens nowadays, we can see that a lot of fuel indications, in the speedometer, in the odometer, you can see a lot of functionalities, like, okay, fuel, temperature, and what is your RPM, right? Okay, and in the higher end cars, even you can see, like, okay, the tire pressures of each tires, okay, and the temperature outside and the temperature inside. Okay, lot of things are there. Okay, and even I can tell you, like, once you move into a luxury budget, right? So let us take, like, you are trying to get into a speed breaker, okay, and the dashboard displays like, okay, so what is the depth of that speed breakers, okay? So based on the speed breakers, automatically what happens is like your chase bits move, I mean, your chase of your car bits move up. Oh, that is so basically IoT. That, I mean, that is the special and unique feature was first introduced by Volvo company, right? If, for example, if you see any Volvo bus, right, there's a lever, right? Once they push the lever, the complete body of the bus will move a bit height, okay? So that is the road clearance, okay? So I mean, so why I'm trying to bring all those points here, because what my objective is, I'm going to place all my trusted data, because I'm going to trust my data, okay? Based on the data, everything is happening. Based on the data, the business is happening. So I'm going to place all the data in a block. So if anybody want to access that, yes, you can do that. But why you want to access that? What is the reason? So because I'm going to give only the authorization key only to the reliable persons, right? So this is how a blockchain can be comes into a picture, right? Okay. And the next thing is, when I say AI, okay, when I say AI, people will ask a question like, sir, you are trying to automate our company, so will there will be any job loss? No, 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 right? Okay. And the next thing they will ask, sir, okay, you are trying to bring some AI, okay, into our company, you are trying to automate it, right? Okay. So if I do something fishy, okay, if I make some mistakes, right, so what happens? Will it reflect in the business revenue? Next thing, okay. And the next thing is, and the next thing they used to ask, okay, right, so if I'm entering some data and my friend, okay, what he's trying to access a data, or if he's trying to tamper a data, what happens, right? And the next thing is like, imagine, like, let us take a scenario of manufacturing company, okay? The terms of manufacturing company, they will generate enormous volume of data, okay? So we need to have a computing power, okay? Do you think a normal machine can do that? No, definitely we cannot do that, because I can give you a small example. Like, so I mean, now you might have heard about Python, or you might be working with Python, right? Okay. So always when we work with Python, right, so we use Google Colab, because Google Colab is a medium where it gives us free lot of GPUs and TPUs. That's okay, fine. But when you bring some industry project, what happens? Because those people, like I mean, like CTO, okay, or CFO or CEO, what they will say to you is like, see, hey, I'm not interested to give my data, okay, because my data is completely secure, and I want to keep my data only locally. So it means, so how you're going to bring that into Collab? Because once you bring your data into Collab, obviously you are giving the data into to Google, right? So it will be stored, right? So what is the next concept? The next concept is like, we want to own our own, we want to have our own GPUs and TPUs. There comes the picture, either we can use GeForce, or we want to set up NVIDIA, because NVIDIA setup is, I mean, it's bit costly, right? Okay. So there comes the computation problem. So once we try to bring blockchain, lot of things can be solved. Anyhow, we are going to discuss it probably at the end of this session, right? Okay, right. And the next thing, okay, see, is like, once we think about AI, okay, once we think about AI, this slide, I mean, these slides are completely prepared, which, I mean, based on my perspective and based on my experience, right? Okay. So probably there might be a lot of points, okay, there might be some, some top renowned and prominent persons, right, who have discussed a lot more, but these slides are completely prepared based on my knowledge and my experience. That's it, fine. Okay. So when I say AI, okay, so from experience, I say is like, there are three things. One is called threat to privacy, and the next one is called threat to human dignity, and the third thing is called threat to safety. Okay. These are the three things where I say, right, okay, AI is capable of solving these problems, right? Okay. And this I have spoken a lot, like what is blockchain, how blockchain is. So next we are going to bring some use cases, like, okay, how we are going to bring AI into blockchain, right? Okay. So what happens when you try to bring blockchain and AI? Definitely that is going to become a complementary relationship. See, when I say blockchain, it means I can close my eyes and I can tell you, like, say, that is data. So hey, see, I mean, secure my data, so nobody can try to tamper my data. Okay, fine. That is what we require. That is what company required. Okay, that is what world required. Okay, because I mean, when government bought other, we got fear like, okay, say we are giving all our data, right? So what happens if somebody misuses our data? So this is okay. So this is the ultimate question. Striking in all our head, right? Okay, so data is pretty much important. And also you might think like you are having Wi-Fi in your house. Okay, so I mean, so you may think like, so what happens if somebody uses my Wi-Fi without my knowledge? If somebody is trying to do some IP snooping or IP masking, so what I'm supposed to do it, right? So everything is data, so we are much worried about data, right? Okay, so once we bring blockchain, obviously that is going to become a complementary relationship. Okay, so once blockchain is bought into is bought into AI, I can tell you like we can think about three parameters. One is called resource optimization, that can be greatly very well done. And the next thing is called data distribution and security. Okay, and the next thing is that is very very important, data okay, monetization, right? Okay, this is very important. And I can tell you like if somebody want to get involved in any kind of research in blockchain, please, I mean, do discuss with me, right? Or anyone or any of the eminent speakers you have heard before, right? Because we can think about a lot of use cases, because use cases are very important, right? Yes. So what happens, right? Okay, see, so what happens if I bring blockchain and AI? See, because if I bring blockchain and AI, especially the sector called energy, okay, I can eventually, okay, capitalize. Okay, I can eventually capitalize and use the data effectively, because I have told you like data is very very important. I will, because I want to give you a small example. Like, see, even you can do by your own. Very simple. Try to bring a, I mean, so what you can do is you just, okay, you just buy some smart plugs. Okay, try to fix it in your main plug of your AC, try to fix it in your TV. Okay, and try to fix it probably in your geyser, because when you say large appliances, you need to have 16 amps, right? Okay, 16 amps. There are a lot of smart plugs with, I mean, it's available in the market. You can buy 16 amp smart plug. And when it comes to small appliances, like, so probably that can be a TV or your, even your computer. Okay, right? So when you work with small appliances, you can use 10 amp smart plug. Okay, just connect that. Okay, so connect everything in a network. Okay, connect everything in one network. And what you can do is you can monitor by yourself, like how much amount of data is being consumed. Okay, how much energy is consumed by my ACs or by my by my appliances. Either that can be large appliances or there can be a small appliances, right? So once you do that, and probably you would be puzzled, because I was puzzled at the moment, right? Okay, so I can see like, hey, see, I mean, my geyser, they have given us 5 stars. Okay, my AC is 5 stars, but see how much unit it is consuming, right? So that, how I can visualize that. Okay, that is visualized by using smart. That is by bringing AI and IoT. Okay, so this is very small, and this is, I'm speaking in the terms of a single house. And just see, right, I mean, there are a lot of energy markets. Okay, there are a lot of energy markets and a lot of energy companies. Okay, so once they bring AI, definitely they can analyze, but the next question is how far they can trust the data. Okay, and the next thing is like, once they try to bring blockchain, I can tell you like they can completely trust it, because now I mean, because nowadays they are working towards that, right? Because even I have given you the global statistics as well, right? Okay, so the market share of 2018 was around 200 million, right? Okay, but now the market share by 2025 is, right, so it is greater than, okay, you can greater than 3 billion. Okay, this is huge. Okay, this is huge in the terms of CHCR. Okay, so this is completely huge. Okay, so this is one place you need to work. So guys, if you want to get into any research in blockchain, okay, try to figure out some energy companies. Okay, so try to work on some building applications, some probably that could be AI, or probably that could be a blockchain. Okay, to some domains like energy. because energy is the domain where lot of computer science people have failed to touch that. Because when you say research, computer science people always know as always I mean things about healthcare, okay, always healthcare, or few will get into social media, right? Okay, so please get, I mean, get away from that and try to figure out more domains, like, okay, so like this energy. Okay, right. And the next thing, this is my favorite, right? Okay, so I mean, so fake news, right? Because nowadays I want, see, I want to give you a small example. Like, okay, now the trend is going in Tamil Nadu is like, okay, I mean, you might have heard about like a serial actress. I mean, okay, she has made commit. She has committed suicide, right? Okay, so that was a kind of a trend a couple of days ago, and even that is happening around. Okay, and we are getting a lot of news, but the question is, how to trust that news? Okay, is all the news are completely real? Because in India, especially in India, not in India, in all the countries, we are getting news, like, okay, so whether how to trust that news? Okay, so that is called combating. Okay, so combating is a kind of a biggest problem. Okay, so even we have made a lot of researches on that. Okay, so I have just used machine learning on that. That was my previous paper, but unfortunately I cannot figure out the accuracy, so I cannot match that whether this is a real news or fake news. No, but still we need some mechanism. So I can proudly say that once blockchain, once we bring blockchain into that, okay, so what we can do is, I have told you, like, if you want to work on news, obviously we want to work on a concept called classification, because news is based on classifieds, that is on classification. Okay, because they generally classify the files, okay, based on some parameters. Okay, right. So what you can do is, once you bring blockchain into that, I can tell you, like, we can have some indicators, some credibility indicators to check the information, which is the real information or which is the misinformation. Okay, right. So that is what I can tell you. This is one area, guys, where you can think about it. So try to, if you are doing any research, or if you're a newbie, what you can do is you can think about this aspect as well, right? Okay, so see how I have given images, like, so how we can use blockchain to combat fake news as well, right? So there are three things you need to think about it. One thing is called transparency, that is very important, and the next thing is called traceability. I mean, the source. How we are getting the news, that is the source. Okay, and the next thing is called decentralization, because I have told you, like, once we bring blockchain, all the nodes will maintain a ledger, and the ledger need to be same. If anything is modified in a single ledger, and obviously all the ledgers need to be modified. Okay, so through this I can tell you, like, if there is a one real news in one node, obviously it means, like, all the nodes will have a same kind of ledger, same kind of data. So through this I can tell you, like, we can combat some fake news problem as well, right? And the next thing, this is my favorite, right? So healthcare, because we have worked a lot in healthcare, and even we are working, so, right? Okay, so what I can tell you is, once you bring a blockchain in in healthcare, because nowadays we are using AI a lot in healthcare. So once you bring blockchain, definitely that is going to become a kind of a platform, right? Okay, so a kind of a platform. So through that platform, what you can do is, definitely you can have your identity. Because I want to tell you, please don't mistake me, okay, or don't file a case on me, right? So I want to so even now I'm having a small doubt, like, see, we are going to some hospital, and they maintain our records, right? And my question is, like, whether our data will be misused. Okay, so I have a question of mine. Okay, so I have a doubt on this. Really, I have a doubt on this, and but don't know what to do, because we don't have any other source, right? Okay, because now countries like India, they are developing and they are not yet developed. Okay, so see, if I want to avoid that, if I want to bring blockchain into these applications, definitely I can tell you it will take another 5 years. Okay, even we are struggling to do that. Okay, I can understand. So coming to the point, like, see, what you can do is, once you once you try to bring blockchain into the healthcare, I can tell you, like, definitely it is gonna become a completely identity verification. system as well. So even nowadays we are doing payments in hospitals either through a cash or probably either through a card. But I can tell you, like, even we can design our application like, hey, I'm going to use some cash payment, or I'm not going to use some I'm going to use my digital currency, and there comes a cryptocurrency. Either you can use a Bitcoin. Okay, right, fine. And I mean, guys, and once you could see the image which is in the bottom right. Okay, so there are four areas where you can work as far as pathology, as far as healthcare is concerned. Number one is digital identity market management. Okay, and the next thing is called financials. You can work on insurance, you can work on financial records, right? And the next one is called, even you can work on health supply chain management. So what is this health supply chain example, right? So you are, so now we can have a scenario like, yeah, some of your in family need some kidney transplantation. Imagine like you have ordered someone, okay, some donor is trying to do it. What you can do is like this Flipkart or Amazon, what you can track, like, so where the product is, so where the product is, so when it is going to reach us, so what is the status of that, okay, what is the condition of that, everything can be monitored by using AI and IoT. But you need to have this data bit simple and bit secure. Okay, so what I can suggest is, like, for that we can use blockchain, right? Fine. And this is my another favorite, like, proof of engagement. So probably, right, so so we are a bit fancy about having YouTube channels, right? Okay, the next question is like, okay, so you are having channels, so how many viewers and subscribers are there? Do you worry about that? We don't worry about that. But if you are interested in making money, you should worry about that, because but you know the agreement of Google, like, so how much viewers you should have, how much hours of video should be viewed. Okay, so there are a lot of parameters are there. Okay, so that everything can be done by using viewership algorithms. So do you think that Google will do it manually? No, Google is maintaining its own viewership and analytics algorithm, right? The next question is, there are few people, okay, there are few people who are misusing that. Okay, so what I'm just suggesting is that, so once you bring blockchain into it, and I have told you guys, like, there's a concept, there's a framework, there's a mechanism called consensus, right? I've told you, like, there's a proof of work or proof of capacity, proof of step, some all blah blah blah. Don't worry about that. Okay, don't worry about that, because you need to worry about this only when you start to develop a blockchain. So based on the situation, based on the amount of resources you have, right? So based on that, we can decide, like, what kind of consensus we can opt. Okay, so don't worry about that, because as of now, this is all theoretical stuff. Unless until you practice, or you deploy any application, you will not come to a point like what kind of consensus can be used, right? Okay, so I'm just telling you, like, there's a concept called proof of engagement. What we can do, like, is once you bring a consensus mechanism called proof of engagement, what I can do is, I can have a control over these the analytics and viewership kind of stuffs. Okay, once if I have a control over that through blockchain, I can check the data through my blogs, then I can try to trigger the payment to the content providers. So completely that is based on views, or that is based on some additional parameters. So this is one area which is not touched by any of the company. Okay, this is not touched. Even if you try to find it out in the Google, you will not have anything much. Okay, so not much is there. Okay, so this is one place where you can have, because we need to think about the transformation is very important. So we cannot speak about the concept of the past, right? Because we are moving ahead, we are moving towards 2025, right? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to think, we need to think far ahead. So the only thing where we can think is kind of a transformation. We cannot speak the base of same AI, like, so when I say AI, AI, if I say AI, definitely there comes machine learning. If I ask machine learning, why machine learning, people used to say, like, even I used to say, like, machine learning is nothing but a subset of AI. Okay, and I can tell you, like, there are few problems which where machine learning cannot be solved, and that is the reason why I'm going for deep learning. So I will say, like, oh, see, hey, DL, what is DL? DL is a subset of ML. So it means, so when I say AI, it means it definitely we need to have ML And if there are few, I mean, if the problem is not solved by using ML, then I need to think about DL, right? Okay. So the simple example where I have, I mean, where we have worked on a project that we have used DL, right? Okay. See, actually, so let us take a small example, like in your university, let us take a small university, right? Okay. So the management want to say, check that, okay, once the photo is shown, okay, once the photo is shown, the details need to be displayed, like, okay, hey, see, this is Lakshman, okay, so he belongs to this department, he is like, okay. So what we are going to do is, but the thing is that these information should not be stored in the cloud. So what I'm supposed to do it, so definitely I need to have a deep learning mechanism. So we have done that, okay. So what happens is that, so we have developed an application, and we have deployed that we have deployed that application, and we have given to a security guard who is a chief security. So what happens once you enter into the campus, once you enter into the gate, so he will say, sir, please stop, okay, madam, please stop. And he will come near to us, and he will just try to capture our photos. Once he capture our photo, then he will have all the details, like, okay, so this, then he will say, okay, then open the gate, okay. So this is how a deep learning works, right? Okay. So coming to the point, like, leave that, fine. Yes. So next one is like blockchain and AI. Okay. And if I say smart city infrastructure, you know very well, like, so in our government, okay, our government is trying to make all the city as smart. So what is smart city? So smart city is means all the data, okay, you can do whatever you want in the city, but the thing is that all the data will be captured, okay. So all the data will be captured and all the data will be analyzed. For that, they are going to use AI and IoT. Very simple, as straightforward, okay. And the next question is like, okay, fine, you are trying to capture all the data, right? So data from all the building, data from all the ATM, data from all the cars, everything, okay, fine. But how do you protect our data? There comes the real point, okay. I can tell you, I can promise you one thing, like, guys, see, after a couple of years, blockchain is going to play a real player. Blockchain is going to become a real player in the terms of smart city, because we are working a lot, okay. Because here I want to tell you a small example, right? So again, I cannot give the name of the university, right? The university is in Greece, okay. I am closely working with them, okay. So that university now in Greece, already, you know very well, like, India 4G has been established, right? So now they have a plan, like they are trying to bring 5G, okay. So see, all of the sudden we cannot bring 5G, okay. So all of the sudden we cannot bring 5G. What they're planning is that they are planning to build some test beds, okay. They are planning to build some test beds, okay. So based on the test beds, the data is being generated. So once the data is being generated, what I have to do is I need to analyze that data by using some ML based methods. But for this, I cannot use conventional machine learning, because all conventional machine learning is already existing. So I need to think about something crazy, something mad. So definitely I need to work on some unconventional things, okay. So this is where really artificial intelligence comes into place. Yes, thank God, like, so all the data which I receive is in the terms of in the terms of strings, right? Okay. So in the terms of integers from your point of view, right? So I'm not getting any images. If any images comes, then I need to think about a deep learning framework, whether I'm going to work with a CNN, RNN. No, that is completely different, okay, right? So okay, so this is a kind of example. This is a kind of example where I'm going to I'm just sharing this experience. And another project where where I'm about to start with the Kuwait University, like, see, we are going to work on emotional thing. And when I say emotional, there comes the picture called videos, okay. So we have a plan to work on that by using blockchain as well. So these are the few experience where I have worked with that. So coming to the point, like, okay, so in relevance to this particular presentation, I can tell you, like, once you bring blockchain, okay, so once you bring blockchain, I can tell you, like, blockchain and AI, okay, blockchain and AI can drastically, it will improve a logistics tracking. And I can tell you, like, we will not have any failure on data fetching as well, right? See, and these are the smart city components, right from all the companies. We have manufacturing, even the government office, because we have because all are mobility, right? So we have a digital citizens, it means all are citizens, okay. We have our data, right? Okay, open data. And I want to share you a small thing, like I have heard, right, but I don't know how far it's true, right? So government is like Aadhaar, government is planning to give a card. Okay, I've heard, but I don't know. I don't know how far it's true, right? So government is planning to give a, I mean, a kind of a card. It's a kind of a sensor, right? Probably, I think that is kind of a smart card. Okay, so what you need to do is, it is mandatory for you to carry that. So through that, what they are doing is they have planned to track you. Okay, so that is they have named that as a smart citizens, right? Okay, so wherever the citizens move, okay, so the data can be tracked. Okay, like what now we are doing it. Now they are tracking us through our cell phones, right? Okay, so simply we are using the base concept of GPS, nothing more than that. Okay, and the next thing is smart health. I have told you, like, now all the, I mean, all the data are, I mean, are centralized. Okay, so what we have to do is, like, so we need to I mean, we need to take care of our health, smart health as well, right? So here I have a small question. See, so when I say health, okay, because nowadays we are speaking about machine learning, everything is okay, fine, okay. There, what you can, my question is, when I say health, definitely I can, I may be using sensors, right? Okay. So when I use sensors, there should be some access point, right? So sensors will send a data to a particular access point, okay, and the access point is the starting point of the, is this the starting junction, and it will send the data to the server. Okay, so whether my data will be tampered, so how do I do that? And there comes the concept called federated learning. Okay, so the same thing is applies to blockchain. That is where they call that as a federated blockchain. So instead of federated learning as a federated learning, what I'm suggesting is that, why can't we make a private blockchain, enterprise blockchain? Probably that could be a consortium, and that can be permissionless, so that if you want, you can have a permission list or permission, that completely depends on your boss, right? Fine. And the next thing is, a backbone of India is like agriculture, because I mean, now we have worked a lot with IoT, right? Okay, but the next question is again data. Okay, government have given a lot of schemes on Kisan, right? Okay, when you open even the COVID period, government have given a lot of schemes on Kisan. Okay, right. So so the next question is, what I'm supposed to do with the data? So how far, so because we are making some decisions, because we have, and nowadays, thank God, right, we are equipped with the greater technology. We have analytics, so that we can come up with a decision, right? Okay, say for example, there's a brinjal, a plant is there. If you are having 20 grams of fertilizers, but what happens if you give 20 grams of fertilizer to a particular plant, right? So probably if the plant doesn't grow well, then you will come to a point like, okay, 20 gram is too much for it. So what I need to do is, I need to reduce that. Okay, so a lot of things we can analyze, because we have a sensors inbuilt. I mean, we can place sensors in the plant, and we can collect data. So that is all the known fact. Okay, so I don't want to I don't want to bore you much. Okay, so that's okay. But my question is, how do I protect my data? So what I'm supposed to do it? So the next thing is, like, once you bring blockchain, I can promise you, like, the data can be completely protected. Okay, so again, I'm telling you, you can have a data, you can have a block with farmers, you can have a block with the government, you can have a block with the fertilizer company, right? Okay, so based on the authorization, all the data can be accessed, and all the data can be shared, right? And smart building, all smart grids. Okay, so once I say grid, and definitely there comes the concept called renewable energy. So probably you are having two concepts. I mean, you might have heard about the one is on grid, one is off grid, right? Okay, so see, I mean, probably some of you might have installed solar panels in your house. Probably you might have heard about on grid and off grid. Okay, and there's another energy where we can get it is from biogas. Okay, so all the details, okay, how many volts you are generating, how many volts you are using it, and how many you are giving to the government. Okay, so everything they are going to monitor it. The next one is called smart transport. Nowadays I can tell you, like, now, I mean, 75% of our transport is completely smart. Okay, right. Say for example, if you book a ticket, you are just boarding in. Okay, right. So any of your friends can check, like, so where you are right now. Okay, because it's all tracked, because it's a kind of a GPS. Okay, right. Because that is happening with the airplanes as well, right? Okay, because no, 75% of the things have been nowadays we are using everything is smart, right? Okay, say for example, if you're traveling to Malaysia, if you're over the sea you can find like, okay, the sea's length is that, the sea's depth is that, you are going to get a wave, we are getting every data. Okay, right? So smart transportation. Okay, right. So my point is, you can tell like why he is speaking a lot about smart city, because this is one place where we all, yes, I mean, as a citizens of India, we need to think about this, and as a technical guy we can think like, I mean, why can't we do something better for the society? So we are thinking to do something betterment of for the society as well. So this is the one place, guys, if you want to get into any research, even if you want to get into AI or IoT, right, or blockchain, please focus on these areas, because already a lot of things have happened, but still, I mean, I mean, Indians, as we are doing a lot of research, but my question is, I mean, we are doing a lot of research, whether they, I mean, whether they are useful to the society, or whether you are making that to the next move, or whether you are making that to the next level. No, we are not doing that. Okay, right? So that is my concern. Okay, so once you have a plan to do that, please try to focus on smart city as well, right? Okay, and because again, I mean, again, I have bought a slide with research direction as well. So once you want to work on blockchain, I can tell you like, please try to work on smart asset, or either you can work on smart contracts, or either you can work on digital identity as well, right? Okay, and the next thing is, if you, I mean, if you're really interested, even you can work on smart community as well, right? And next, this is very very important, because this determines our country's growth, right? Okay, see, so how blockchain will revolutionize stock markets, right? This is very very important point, you know very well, like, so even I mean, in India, we speak about only two things. One is called BSE and one is called NSE. Okay, one is called the National Stock Exchange. Next one is the Bombay Stock Exchange. So what now Google is doing is that, see, Google is trying to fetch the data from the stock, and we are getting it, and everything we are getting as free. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but my next question is, what I'm going to do? I mean, can I trust the data? Okay, whether the, I mean, can I trust the data? Yes. And we say yes, because Google is giving, we trust the data. No, I cannot say that we cannot trust the data, right? Okay, so for that, I'm just telling you like, okay, so why can't we bring blockchain into that analytics? Once the blockchain is brought into analytics, what we can do is, it's easy for, because I mean, I can tell you like, okay, 25%, okay, 25% of the Indians, okay, depends on stocks. Okay, probably there can be passive, I mean, there can be, their business can be passive or active, but generally 25%, I'm not saying, survey says like 25% of Indians, okay, do involve in stock markets. Okay, generally there can be a daily trading, or there can be a mutual fund. Okay, that is completely depends on them. So once you bring blockchain into that, okay, so prediction, you know, Google is predicting, but we are making our data a bit what we can do is a bit secure. And the next thing, only we can make a data secure in blockchain. No, the next part is very simple. We can reduce the between people, right? So when I say stock, there are a lot of agents involved in that, so we can reduce that. Okay, so a lot of things are there. So probably so see, I have given you around I mean, you could find 11 points, like, see what happens once you bring a blockchain. You can build some regulations. Okay, and once you bring blockchains, and you can automate your regulatory mechanisms, right? And the next thing is, that is very important, once you bring blockchain, you can completely facilitate the dividend. Okay, but dividend is very very important, right? Okay, so that you can completely facilitate the dividend payments. And also there's a one application which is very important called fundraising. Okay, I mean, so all the NGOs are using that right now. So fundraising, so you can also think about the fundraising. And the next thing is very important, like, is we can bring blockchain based mutual funds. I mean, nowadays we are involved in stocks by doing transactions. Okay, but either only in our currency. As of now, cryptocurrency is not used. But once blockchain is used, I can tell you like, we can bring cryptocurrency. You can ask me like, so what is the advantage of bringing cryptocurrency? Once cryptocurrency is, I mean, is bought, I mean, we will not be having any hidden charges. So that is where I'm just focusing and emphasizing like, okay, so once you bring blockchain to stock market, no, a lot of things can happen. Fine. And And this is another thing. Okay, so probably I have told, like, so I have 23 patents filed, and out of that, okay, so 4 are from international patents, and out of the 19, I mean, out of that 19 are are Indian patents. Okay, right? And all of them are, so out of that, I'm just working for 2 patents which will be granted very soon, right? So no, just leave that. So coming to the point, right? So what is this IP? So it means your property need to be secured by use. Okay, but now this is an open world. Okay, we cannot say like data can be secure, so we need some mechanism. So once we bring some decentralized platform like blockchain, I can tell you like properties, okay, especially a data that can be either a copyright or that can be either a trademark or something like that. Okay, so what we can do is like either that can be even licensing. Okay, I can tell you like we can completely protect that. So this is one area we need to look into it, right? And this is my so this is my completely this is my favorite, because I generally use VR a lot in my house. Okay, so virtual reality, so you might have heard about augmented reality or virtual reality or probably MR, mixed reality. Okay, so this is one place now I do wonder, like lot of blockchain based applications are happening around, right? Okay, because you know what happens when you use, we know like what happens in AR. In the layman point of view, I can tell you like it's a kind of a magnifying glass. Okay, you are, you are seeing bit smaller in the mobile when you use AR or VR, something like that. When you use, so it is being magnified. Okay, and the next thing you can ask me, so it means whether we can interact with it. You can interact to it, but it depends on how you use AR or VR. Okay, let's not focus into that, because this session is not on AR or VR. Okay, right? So what happens? Okay, nowadays once you do something on AR and VR, okay, see that, okay, that data, the data generated by the consumers, okay, the data generated by the consumers are used for the business purpose, not only in the market of AR, VR. All the data which is used by the consumers like us are being used by business people, business giants, to make their decision more sorry, to make their business more effective. Okay, so they are trying to increase and improve their production. So how they can do that? It's very simple. Without data they cannot do anything, right? Okay, so generally when it comes to AR or VR, okay, there are content makers. Okay, number one, there are business people, and there are consumers, and there are developers. Developers are the one who takes care of the, who I'm sorry, who takes place of the entire marketplace, right? Okay, so what happens if I try to bring a blockchain? Okay, so if I try to bring a blockchain into that, so I can tell you like definitely I can do wonders, because this is happening. But to be honest, I have not yet worked on this area. So because I generally use a magnifying glass, okay, AR, right? But I don't but I have never used blockchain into that, so I'm sorry. This is the out of this is kind of this is a kind of a point where I need to discuss with you, right? And the next thing is like, this is another very very important. So probably see, let's speak about India. Okay, so we don't want to get away from our context, right? So let's take India. Okay, see, if you are if you are planning to buy a house. Okay, so if you are planning to buy a house, then what happens? There comes a lot of problems, right? Okay, so bank will not leave you, they will ask, so XY is a lot of things. It means there will be some agents, okay, right? They are the one who takes care of your documents. So our ultimate aim of bringing blockchain is like, I'm going to avoid the intermediate person, right? So I'm going to avoid the intermediate person. So what you can do is, so once a blockchain comes into a mortgage, I can tell you like it is going to completely, revolution. It is going to bring some revolution, right? Okay, because there will not be any intermediate person. You will be having only a seller and the buyer. Okay, those seller and the buyer will, what, that is what I have told you in the example, the previous example, like what happens literally when you buy a car. You will be having lot of, the bank will be there. Okay, fine, seller will be there, bank will be there. Okay, the next one is a car seller will be, dealer will be there. right? Okay, so all the people will be in a different blocks. Okay, so all the people, okay, will, I mean, will, what they will do is will they check the data, will authorize the data, will authenticate the data. So there comes the auditability. The same thing happens in the case of mortgage as well. Okay, so this is one area where we can think about that. Okay, so I mean, so from this image, can you come to a point like, so what is that? Any guesses on this? Any ideas like, so what is this? Okay, there you can find I mean, some funny images, like two guys are trying to have a smoke, right, and one guy is pissing around, and two girls are, I mean, trying to carry away the water, right? So any idea on this? Okay, so what is all about? So again, this comes like martial arts. Okay, so I can tell you, like, this is a company. Okay, sorry, these are the companies, like I mean, they are working a lot on martial arts. Okay, right, see, even we have heard about many people, many great artists. We used to buy some, I mean, pics of them, right? Okay, so these are the companies were working hard to store their arts data, to store the data of different artists in a particular block, right? The company like Adapcity, Da, right? Okay, so Artery. So generally, if a blockchain is used for art, that is called bulk art. Okay, BLKART, right? Okay, fine. And this is really amazing, right? Okay, so autonomous vehicle. Okay, I mean, we know very well, like AI is using a lot. Okay, the date, because when you drive a car, generally, yeah, a higher end car, there are a lot of sensors. I mean, there are a lot of sensors placed inside your car, and the ultimate aim of the sensors is to send the data, okay, to the particular point. Probably they can send the data to your mobile, or they can send the data to the direct customer of any, something like BMW. Was an example, just for an example, right? Okay, so how do you think like blockchain will comes into picture? And already I want to tell you, like Volkswagen, BMW. Okay, so I mean, BMW was, I mean, it's a kind of a first company. They're trying to experiment with blockchain. They are trying to secure the data. They are trying to secure the data through the blockchain. So from these examples, I can tell you, like, okay, so see, why do we bring blockchain into the picture? Very simple. Once you bring a blockchain kind of platform, I can tell you, like, you can improve your business operations, because we are going to streamline everything. Okay, so that is the only, because I have told you, like, data governance is very, very important. Okay, once you bring a proper data governance, then definitely, we can reduce some things. Okay, and the next thing is, like, once you bring blockchain and AI together, I can tell you, like, definitely this is towards the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, like education 4.0, like smart 4.0, like, okay, so the, like, what, like the fourth industrial revolution, right? Okay, so probably if you are interested, I mean, so this is my LinkedIn, this is my site, and this is my probably a contact number, right? Okay, so I mean, so probably I'm done with my presentation. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, then probably I can think, I can give you a few examples, like how you can start your first blockchain, and what is the major difference between blockchain and hyperledger, and few more stuffs. So yeah, guys, I'm just waiting for the query. Okay, if you have any doubts, so please go ahead, we can have a discussion.
Participants, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Sir, just a question.
Yes, ma'am.
This blockchain has a spirit of decentralization.
Yeah.
But won't it affect the privacy because of its deregulated nature?
Sorry, can you please come again? Because no.
Because won't it affect the privacy because of its deregulated nature?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, because see, as far as blockchain is concerned, there is no regulations, right? Okay, because each company, each enterprises maintain their own regulation, and all the regulations are defined by using consensus algorithms. Okay, so but the one point here I want to tell you, like, privacy cannot be misused. because the ultimate aim of using blockchain is to maintain the trust. Okay, so I can tell you like trust. We can completely trust the data cannot be tampered, man. So I mean, obviously, I can guarantee you like data is not at risk.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Sir, I have one question. Sir, is there any other new tools that has been developed for blockchain apart from Ethereum, Hyperledger, Truffle?
Sir, no, actually, see, I will give you a shortcut, right? See, have you heard about Corda?
Accord, yes, sir.
Yes, right. So if you want to give a try, so just start with Corda, because Corda is a kind of a consortium blockchain. So it's a federated blockchain, actually, right? So people used to say like Corda is a private blockchain, but to be honest, Corda is not, it is not much private blockchain. It's a consortium, because Corda is based on a company called Corda. It's open source. Okay, so that's called consortium, sir. First try with Corda. In the GitHub you can find all the sources. You can install in probably Ubuntu 14. Okay, right. And the next thing is like, as you said, like you need to have a different tool like Ethereum or Hyperledger, right? Sir, I mean, I believe like why do we use Hyperledger, right? Because we nowadays we are facing a lot of troubles in blockchain. We want to customize that. We want to integrate our own applications into the blockchain network, and there comes the concept called Hyperledger. Okay, actually, so I just recommend you to use Hyperledger, because Hyperledger can be customized. At your terms, you can customize the Hyperledger, sir. As of now, from experience, we are using a lot in Hyperledger, sir. Apart from that, no, I don't have any ideas, sir.
Okay. So for Hyperledger, which will be, any platform like open source or other thing available, sir?
Sir, actually, sir, Hyperledger is completely open source. Okay, it's open source, because in Hyperledger, I want to tell you, like in Hyperledger, no cryptocurrency is involved, sir. Please make sure that, because we have a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. Even we use a cryptocurrency called Ether in Ethereum, actually. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. And the next thing in Hyperledger, I can tell you like you need to note this point as well, because if you are trying to bring some consensus algorithm, okay, in Bitcoin we generally use POW, sir. In Bitcoin we generally use POW, and in Ethereum also we just use POW. But in Hyperledger we use a different concept called PBFT. Okay, that's called practical Bilstein fault tolerance. We use a concept called PBFT. PBFT is a kind of consensus, sir. That you need to make sure that. And next thing is, when you are writing smart contracts, generally we use Solidity for Ethereum. Okay, we use Solidity for Ethereum, but for Hyperledger we use generally chain code. Okay, we use chain code, because smart contracts can be written by using only chain code, sir. Why is Hyperledger is based on a Golang? Hyperledger is written on a Golang. That is what I'm suggesting is you can also write your chain code by using Golang or Java.
Okay, sir.
You can do everything of your own, sir.
Yeah, but the gas fee and all not involved here, right?
No, sir, no, sir. Again, no, gas, that is completely different. That gas and everything is comes on when you are trying to do something with cryptos.
Cryptos only, yeah.
Yes, but in Hyperledger we don't speak about cryptos, because our aim is to integrate our application into blockchain network. So that is our aim. So we are not speaking about cryptos.
Okay. So something regarding like any business kind of thing only it will be involved. Apart from the business sides or any application development, we can use this kind of thing, right, sir?
Yes, sir. Even we have worked with a lot of business applications as well, sir. I mean, yes, sir. So we can use whatever you want, because this is kind of a customized application.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir, like in hospital, healthcare domain, So the patient record and it can be digitalized. For example, the doctor want to see a patient, he can give a prescription based on the previous history and all. So that we will have a note or a kind of physical record. In order to that, overcome that, we can use this digital platform like blockchain technology to overcome that model. So
Yes.
apart from that, any other open research area is there for in healthcare domain, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, a lot of things are there, sir. Even I mean, recently I'm just working with a prescription, because once you go to a doctor, he will scribble something, right? Even you cannot understand. Only the medical guy can understand, right? Okay, but layman cannot understand. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to convert that pathological data. So we are trying to convert that, and we are going to store it in a blockchain. So if anything happens, you know what happen if you are going to a second doctor, what you can do is all the transcriptions can be matched directly from the block, sir. That is one area we are working on that. Okay, and the next area is like even we are trying to work on the COVID images as well, lung images. Okay, because
Okay.
sir, because I want to tell you, like, see, when I say I mean when I say COVID, right? Okay, so either there can, we are getting results as of from our government regulations, we are getting is only positive or negative. But my question is, before to COVID, you might have SARS. Okay, you might have NSARS, right? So I want to classify that. So how I can do that? Probably I can do that with help of blockchain as well, sir. All the classifications can be done by using machine learning, and once the data is predicted, I mean that can be matched with our original blockchain data. Sir.
Okay, sir. But
Lot of things are there,
the
sir. If we speak, I will speak for another 2 days, right? So what is what?
that's great, sir. That's great. Good. So, sir, can you share your mail ID, please, so that if in case any doubt, I can.
Sir, yeah, I will share my mail ID. I will share my number. No problem, sir. Because this world is very small, sir. This is my number.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. This is my, sir. This is my personal mail ID. So I have given everything, sir. Everything to everyone. So no problem, sir. We can discuss a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any other questions would I like to, discuss?
Sir, I think no more further questions.
Okay, ma'am. I think the guys got bored up, so probably, right. So they want to move on, right? Yeah.
No, sir. No.
Yes, ma'am. So I think so. So shall I take a move, ma'am? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Fine. So thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. We are highly indebted to your valuable insights.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Now we are marching towards the end of the second phase of the STTP. Before concluding, let me thank you all once again. This AICTE and CSI sponsored STTP would not have been possible without the unconditional support of the management of the KCG College of Technology. On behalf of the coordinating team, I thank the management for facilitating the conduct of the STTP and initiating the second phase of the same. Along with that, I would like to place on record my sincere thanks on behalf of the coordinating committee to our beloved principal for his guidance. I would also like to thank our HOD, Dr. J. Frank Vijay, for his unflinching support throughout the whole program. My special thanks to our system administrator, Mr. Nibin Matthew, who took great care in hosting the meeting and running them smoothly without any technical glitches. I would also like to thank the entire coordinating team for their meticulous planning and effective execution of the whole schedule. The HODs and faculty members of other departments who helped us in sourcing our wonderful resource persons across the globe also deserve a word of gratitude. I am sure there won't be any two opinion on the expertise of the panel members. I thank all the experts who took time out of their busy schedule in making this STTP a reservoir of knowledge and creating such a wonderful learning experience. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all of you participants. Without your active involvement, this STTP would have been pointless. I thank all of you for your active participation, even in the midst of your busy schedule. For all your information, phase 3 will be from 18th January 2021 to 23rd January 2021, which will address international practices and experiences. Undoubtedly, it will be handled by international experts in the field. Thank you all once again for the active cooperation. We are indeed happy to acknowledge the active participation of all of you, and your certificates will be mailed to you within next 4 days. Thank you once again. Thank you.